I sometimes connect myself with you through my deep being, but I cannot hear your response, and I feel alone. I am practicing regularly. Can you please tell me how do I become more receptive and can get more connected to you?
Stop using your DB. Don't use your deep being. Don't try to connect. Because with all these things, you will go into hallucinatory states of mind. Then Sadguru will start talking to you and things will happen and… Don't get into that. So what should I do? If I have to be receptive, what should I do? What is it that is blocking one's receptivity? It is just that if you coat anything with too many things, it can't feel it, isn't it? Right now, you're too much of a gathering, too much of a gathering. Too many things have been gathered which you call as myself. Starting from your physical body, at least though there is considerable room to expand, physical body has some limitations. You cannot expand beyond… you cannot gather beyond a point at least. If you gather too much, collection time will come soon. Yes? At least physical body, there is a limitation. But with the mental structure, you can gather phenomenally. And when carrying such a heap on your head, you won't feel anything. Especially if you start believing the heap that you're carrying is yourself. The less you become, the more receptive you become. The more you become, the less receptive you become. Or in other words, to put it very bluntly, you're too full of yourself. If you reduce that, how can you not feel? You will have to feel. What should I feel? Should I hear your voice? Please don't. You want to hear my voice, put on a CD or something. If you're hearing voices, then you need treatment. It's not about hearing voices. What is being put into you in the form of initiation is a live process. If you are not too full of yourself, if you sit here, it will constantly reverberate within you, always. So once there is a living energy within you, all you have to do is clear the space for it. If you clear the space, you cannot miss it. If you want sunlight to come in, you don't have to do any big fighting, just have to open the window, isn't it? So, just look at yourself and see. You may be a very smart man, or you may be a very strong man, or a very handsome man, very something. Please reduce that. You will see, you will start feeling. Yes? Or you're a very good man, please reduce that. Good people can't feel anything, they become like goats. Because they keep on thinking, I'm good, I'm good. How? He's not okay, she's not okay, he's not okay, he's not okay, she's not okay, he's not okay. Compared to all these people, I'm such a good man. You're too full of yourself. People who think they are good, they're too full of themselves. Isn't it so? Reduce that. Just understand your place in the existence. You're like a speck of dust. Tomorrow morning if you're blown away, I don't mean the bomb, I mean, I'm sorry suppose you just disappear tomorrow morning, everything is going to be fine in this world. Do you know this? Oh, can I talk about diamonds? Diamonds, Do you know that ultraviolet light can evaporate a diamond? Do you know this? Diamonds are forever. You heard that? Diamonds are not forever. Just light falling upon it, it can just evaporate. Please touch and see, is it still there? Those… gone? Just ultraviolet rays touching it in a certain intensity, diamond will just evaporate. So that is all it is. It is not a big thing. Who you are, you can just evaporate with the right level of awareness. It doesn't take any big fighting to do. There's no big fight to do. Big fight is done because you're fighting with a crowbar. With the hammer, if you try to break diamond, it's a lot of effort. Light, just ultraviolet rays can just evaporate it, it'll just disappear into thin air. Diamond. So, this is very simple. Just bring the right kind of awareness to you. You do one thing. When you get up in the morning, what do you do first thing? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do the first thing in the morning? Phone. Any messages? You do one thing, you get up in the morning and smile. At whom? Nobody. Smile is not about somebody. Smile happens when this one is feeling in a certain way, isn't it? Yes or no? Unless you're a trained PR person, you learn to kind of thing. Otherwise, smile happens because something is happening within you, not because somebody has come in front of you, isn't it? So first thing in the morning, you smile. It takes 20 seconds, okay? If you can't smile at somebody who's next to you, just smile. Pleasant way to start your day, isn't it? And if one dose per day is not enough for you, you're a chronic patient. Every hour, oh, it's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. You know, 21st July 2011, 11 o'clock. How many times has it happened? How many times has it happened? Never before. How many times more? Never again. Phenomenal moment, isn't it? 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, it's a simple thing. You're taking the biggest things in the existence for granted, do you understand? It is 11 o'clock, is it a small thing? Is it a small thing? Fantastic, only once in eternity, isn't it fantastic? Oh, 11 o'clock, crash course. Just do this every hour. You will see in 2 weeks' time how you will be. 20 seconds crash course you can give yourself, yes or no? Just do that, you will receive.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. My spiritual experience has its ups and downs. Sometimes it stumbles and sometimes it's glorious. Why this variation?
Oh. Spiritual experience is stumbling or you are stumbling?
Possibly, but I feel with all the PR that you told me, I do it. And it is not constant, it is just that I am stumbling sometimes, and sometimes it's glorious, this life is beautiful. I can't even believe it would be so beautiful before I met you.
See, what is a spiritual experience? Let's come to this first. You need to understand this. This body is something that you gathered slowly. Is that so? Is that so? Did you gather this? What is that sabu… What is that? Sabu aloo, what do you call that? Huh? That cannonball kind of thing. Sabu? Dana. So sabu dana. Yesterday I was telling somebody, I was at somebody's home and I was telling them my first experience of sabudana way back in the Sahyadri mountains. We won't go there. So this is all sabudana slowly gathered. No wonder it feels so difficult. Now this is something that you gathered. Everything that's here is something that you gathered. Your mind is a gathered phenomena, accumulated phenomena, body is an accumulated phenomena. So what you call as myself is the spirit, if you want to call it that way. It's a very contaminated word, so I generally don't use it, but now that you're using the word spirituality, it is the spirit. So if your life is about that, then you're spiritual. If your life is about the body, it is about the mind, it is about what's around you, we say you're material because these are accumulated things. What you accumulate can be yours, can never ever be you. That much is clear to us, isn't it? Yes? So whether you gathered stones or diamonds or what, they can be yours, but they can never ever be you. So when we say spirituality, we are saying it's about you. It is not about furniture in the house. You know, after some time people treat you like a furniture. Body is like furniture for us to sit and stand, isn't it? Yes? Mind is another kind of furniture to do things. So this is not about furniture, this is about you. So spiritual process means it's about you, not about your furniture, not about your property, not about the things that you can gather and lose. So what is the experience of that? Let's not go about trying to describe, this is the experience of that. All I'm saying is, it is about this. So why is it that furniture is there and you're missing? Because somewhere you don't know what you're doing. Somebody put it in a big way saying they know not what they're doing. A few basic things of eating, sleeping, reproduction, you're doing it the way it has to be done. Everything else is freaked. You understand? So that is why what is fundamental you, to come into it, say your experience, we have to do all kinds of circus, hang you upside down. If you just do life the way it needs to be done, not the way your society has twisted you to do it, you will see spiritual process is always on, nobody needs to teach you, nobody need to do anything to you, because that is you. It is not an imported commodity, it is you, isn't it? It is essential you. Your body is imported, sabudana or whatever. Your mind is imported, isn't it so? But what is you has always been there. What is there to do about it? There is nothing to do about it. Too much sabudana, so we have to clear it a little bit. So right now, your life has become about things that you gather and not about you. Because of that, it is like this. You need to it is no more, you cannot even talk about it in the world anymore because people are recognized for what kind of car they drive or what kind of clothes they wear, for what kind of makeup they wear. Nobody is recognized for what he is. Yes, largely. So, don't make it so complicated. Yes. Oh, my spirituality, my experience, my this. Don't make spirituality like you're growing horns. You become simply life. The problem with life is you're trying to be special, so you look stupid. Just be life. You will see this is wonderful. You become a body, you become a mind, you become a society, you become famous, you become rubbish, you became all kinds of things. Just be life because that's all you are and that's all you can be. You cannot be anything else. Forget about all this big jargon, I'm spiritual, I'm this, my spiritual experience, my ordinary experience, there's no such thing. There's just life. Are you on the surface or are you moving towards the core? That's all. This sense of no human being should live in an unconsecrated space is something which is deep-rooted in this culture, because it is just like if you plant something into this earth, only if the roots are sticking into a rich earth will the flower and the fruit come out. If the earth into which these roots are sticking in is not rich enough, is not enhanced enough to sustain life, flower and fruit will not come. Even if it comes, it will be too meager. It will never be a full-blown flowering, it will never be a full-blown fruiting of the plant. So always these aspects, we gave enormous importance to these aspects of life. It's not just about what you eat, it's not just about what kind of work you do, what kind of space you live in. This is very important in the East. So, people always consecrated their homes in whichever way they know best and only then moved in. If the kings were sensible and benevolent, they consecrated the whole town. They created any number of places in the town so that the whole town is consecrated. He wants everybody to live in consecrated spaces. If you walk on the street, if you do business, if you live in that town, everyone must constantly live in consecrated space, because if you want to produce generations of enhanced human beings, you need this kind of space. Otherwise, only by accident or by personal dint, somebody may become something. You won't produce a generation of beautiful people. This culture produced a galaxy of knowledge, a galaxy of enlightened beings. Every generation produced this simply because they took care of any number of aspects like this. Nowhere else on this planet have single generations of people risen to such glorious heights of knowing as this culture has known. But all that got fractured in the last few hundred years. In the last 800 to 900 years, this got badly fractured because of invasions and displacement of people and so many things. You can produce very great intellects, very great energy, as human beings I'm saying, individual human beings carrying phenomenal sense of energy and intellect and capability. If you create large spaces of consecrated space, large consecrated spaces where the whole generation of people are in touch with that kind of energy and space. This fortune almost every family had, because before they moved into homes, they did this. Periodically, they did something to enhance the house. This is part of almost every house. Every household, at least once a year, conducted the needed rituals and processes to see that the space in the house is enhanced. A basic understanding, or rather an essential understanding of how to generate a conducive atmosphere for a human being to grow to his full potential.
सहस्रादिसंवत्सरा पूर्वं नरज्ञान उद्धारणाय समर्पितम् आदियोगिराध्यं सप्तर्षिभ्यो बोधितम् अतिश्रेष्ठम् इदं विशालं विज्ञानम् आदियोगिनं प्रणमाम्यहम्।